Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I wanted to go ahead and talk about Salt Lake City and part one of the reunion. Um, it was cute. It wasn't a bad start. It wasn't bad to me. It gave what I thought it was going to give. It wasn't like I put on Twitter, nothing more, nothing less. It was cute. Let's just go ahead and talk about the fashions. No shade to the white girlies, but I have noticed that there's a difference between um, the predominantly black franchises, and I say predominantly because at one point on Atlanta, Kim, KK Kim was there, but on the black cast, Atlanta and Potomac, you know, they usually try to put on Sunday's best. You know, the white girlies, they kind of sometimes just throw on a bandage dress. Okay, no shade. But, and I've also noticed that sometimes with the white franchises, they really don't have um, like a theme, right? Where there's white, black, neon, rainbow, whatever. But anyways, the girls on Salt Lake City I thought looked nice. I don't think anyone looked bad. I didn't look at anyone and just say, oh, you look a mess. Let me go ahead and put the picture up. So I will say that my least favorite is probably Heather. Heather doesn't look bad, but Heather does give Mother of the Bride. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because Heather is a woman of a particular age, right? I think that sometimes it's okay. And I remember, I think it was, I don't know, I think it was Andrew Gabor. I don't know. I remember somebody, I think he had a panel, and somebody was saying that Garcelle in her promo shot was giving like Mother of the Bride. And I agree, but I also feel like too, like it's okay because Garcelle is like what, a 60-year-old woman. It's okay for a woman to look like the mother of the bride because the fact of the matter is she is the mother of the bride. You know what I'm saying? So I think like with Heather, it's okay for her to look like the mother of the bride because Heather would be the mother of the bride. Heather is a 50-plus-year-old woman. However, I still feel like, it's okay for us to, I know this is the thing. The girls of today, they ain't like our grandmamas, our great-great-grandmamas. The girls of today, they take care of themselves and they knocking about 20 years off of their age. So, I would say that if Heather, and I don't know how her arms are. Does Heather have her arms out a lot? I don't know. Some people don't like to have out certain body parts. I think if she had that top layer was removed, then it probably wouldn't be as bad. But she doesn't look bad to me. But she was my least favorite. And then I'll say that, and I don't know if she looks bad. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll say Whitney was probably next, but Whitney doesn't look bad. Like I said, nobody looks bad. So this is really just a list of who is my least favorite, but they all look good. Whitney was probably next. And then I would say it's a tie between Mary and Bronwyn. Bronwyn doesn't look, this is the thing. When you are the fashion girly, it's unfair, but that's my dryer. It's unfair because you are held to a different standard. You are. Like, Bronwyn doesn't look bad, but this does not look like something Bronwyn would wear. Like, girl, did y'all see the shit that Bronwyn was fresh off the runway at BravoCon with her homegirl on? What's the designer, Christian Siriano? I thought this was I was just like, oh, I was surprised that this is what she wore. But again, like I said, it's not that she looks bad, but Bronwyn has kind of, or at least we have deemed Bronwyn the fashion girly. So if you're gonna be the fashion girly girl, you gotta be the fashion girly through and through. If that makes sense, what I'm saying. It just was like, oh, okay, girl. And I think she had a little studs, but it looked like she didn't have any earrings. I don't know. I just wasn't really, I didn't really go up for it. I will say, the more I looked at Meredith's dress was very, very nice. At first it just gave just like whatever. Meredith is also kind of low-key giving Mother of the Bride too. But at least she tried to give a little shoulder. You know what I'm saying? At least the bitch tried to have a little shoulder out. You know what I'm saying? But Meredith is also giving Mother of the Bride. But I like Meredith's dress. You have to zoom in on it. It's really nice. So I would say Meredith is probably next. And then, plain old Lisa. Girl, really and truly, girl, I really don't care about any of them. But my favorite one was Angie. I thought my favorite look was Angie, straight up. But Lisa looked nice. Like I said, Lisa gonna give you a nasty bust down. Lisa almost giving you low key black. Girl, is this blackfish? Okay, is that what it's called? Is she blackfishing? Lisa low key giving you, girl. Lisa low key giving you that her daddy is black and her mama is white. Type of tea. I'm just saying. But yeah, I'll say my top three are Meredith, Lisa, and Angie is my number one. But like I said, nobody looked bad. But girl, I wasn't about to do a separate video about the fashions because on Potomac, Atlanta, we're gonna do their own individual what is it called? Video. But I was like, girl, we could just talk about this, girl, at the reunion, on the reunion video. So anyways, here we are, y'all. So let's go ahead and we're just going to talk. We're just going to talk. I'm going to just start off by saying that Lisa was one of the girls out. Lisa, Barlow, Baby Gorgeous. I will say that Lisa was the winner of part one. 20 minutes in, Lisa had already tugged on everybody's wig except for Meredith's and Andy's. Lisa had already tugged on pretty much everybody's wig except for Meredith's and Andy's. So they really didn't waste any time getting into it. So Andy asked Meredith, what is your goal coming in to tonight's reunion? And then Meredith says that she wanted to address Whitney because at BravoCon, Whitney said that there are some things that needed to be cleared up. I feel like Whitney was sounding, let me just clear the floor. That's what she said. She basically said that Meredith was lying on her. Meredith stated that, Whitney said that Meredith said that basically, Whitney said that Meredith said that Whitney told her that she was lying about what she said on the show, I guess about the pill popping and the drinking, and that she was going to make sure she correct what she said. She was going to redact what she said. Meredith says that you did tell me that, and that you said that you were wrong, and that you were going to basically... Meredith's basically saying what Whitney claims that Meredith said that she said. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Girl, I have not been drinking. Girl, I swear I've not been drinking. Child, I'm not drinking until Saturday, okay? It's Thursday. Girl, 2:27 a.m. in the morning. I've not been drinking. So yeah, basically, Whitney's saying that Meredith basically lied. Meredith basically saying that she didn't lie. That's what Whitney told her, that she was going to basically take back what she said about her being a rich, pill-popping white woman, okay? Drinking champagne, right? So anyways, Whitney, this is all I'm going to say. Meredith is basically trying to get to Whitney. This is what I caught what Meredith was trying to do. While you walking around here talking about that I'm a drunk bitch who pop pills, baby, let's go ahead and talk about how you've been walking around here pissy drunk. Because then Whitney started talking about how she was drunk at BravoCon. Hello? And then she also talked about how she was drunk at Watch What Happens Live, and she apologized to Andy for being so drunk at Watch What Happens Live. And I'm going to tell y'all this story. I done already told y'all this story before. MJ from Shaws of Sunset. MJ, I was at a panel. It was MJ, Sheree, Who's the other bitch? Oh, Margaret from Real Housewives of New Jersey, and Aaron from the reboot of The Real Housewives of New York. And MJ told a story. I forgot how they even brought it. I forgot why it even came up. But MJ told a story at BravoCon about how Whitney was so fucking drunk that at one point she was about to piss on the ground or something like that. And I think one of the tom-toms had to pick her up. It was some crazy story about Whitney being drunk. All I'm saying is this. Whitney, baby, we have more examples of you being a drunk and not being able to control your alcohol at the tender age of 35, however old Whitney is, 35, 40. Girl, so you might want to watch what you say while you going around here talking about everybody else having an addiction. Bitch, you might be following in your daddy's footsteps before Meredith is. That's all I'm saying. Meredith really could, if she wanted to, come back next season and paint Whitney as a drunk white girl who walk around here probably sucking dick in the bathroom. I'm not saying Whitney sucking dick in the bathroom. Yeah, but y'all get what I'm trying to say? We have too many examples of you being pissy drunk. And low key, it was given, you probably took a couple of shots before you came out on that stage tonight. Can we tell the truth and shame the devil? Anyways, so, is Lisa, you know who my good eye on? My good eye is on Heather Gay. Oh, my good eye is on Heather Gay. Some shit popped in my head tonight about Heather. I'm going to tell y'all when we get to it. Is Lisa a risky friend? Heather says that Heather says yes. Lisa says that Heather is a snake, basically. And Heather wants an example of why she's a snake. Lisa says that she told Angie about Todd and like the woman who he supposedly cheated with, and he was passing gas while he was kissing her. Well, come to find out, Heather, I think Angie told Heather, and then Heather told Angie to say it on camera because she said she thought it would be funny. Girl, that does make you a snake in a way, because why the fuck would a story about a husband allegedly cheating on his wife, how the fuck is that funny? Hello? How is that funny? How is that funny? No, you was trying to start some shit. Point blank, period. Somehow they got into it about Lisa not being from Utah. And Lisa said, I'm New York thick and through. Lisa was a kiki. Lisa actually was. Lisa was enjoying. This is the thing about Lisa Barlow. Lisa is the Lulu, but Lisa to me is the right type of the Lulu, if that makes sense. Like Lisa is not the Lulu, no shade. Like a Karen Huger is the Lulu to the point where she ends up in jail. Lisa is the Lulu to the point where like, I'm so fab and when I walk into the room, the people are wanting to know, where did I get my outfit from? Like, we ain't never seen Lisa. Like, again, Lisa don't look bad. I've never seen Lisa look a mess. I've never seen I've never seen Lisa Barlow look a mess. But I also don't think that Lisa just walked into the room and people be wondering, oh, was she, girl, you're not no fashionista like that, girl. I don't give a damn how much how much money Lisa clothes cost, girl. Is not giving fashionista to the point where the girl's just beating down your door to girl, where you get your pieces from. No. Anyways, we'll get back into Lisa in a little bit. Mary agrees with Heather, and she says that she's delusional, and she also brings up what Heather said, that how she lives a very different life than them. And then Meredith, shut the fuck up. Then Meredith, she chimes in and was like, well, we do live different lives. That's not a bad... She was trying to make it seem as though that Lisa saying that they live different lives, that's not necessarily a bad thing because they all do live different lives. No, that's not the way that Heather was saying it. Lisa. That's not the way that Lisa was... Girl, it's 2:33 and I got to get this video up tonight because I got stuff to do tomorrow. So Lisa was trying to make it seem as though, girl, y'all are down here and I'm up here. Lisa was trying to make it seem as though when we watch Real Housewives of Orange County, you could tell that Heather Dubrow lives a completely different life than them other white bitches. Hello? You see what I'm saying? Like, we can look at Heather Dubrow and we know that Heather lives a completely different life. Lisa tried to make it seem as though she lives like Heather Dubrow. And when I feel like when most people look at Salt Lake City, they all look at these women as though they live similar lives. While yes, you might decide to go to this event, girl, like at the end of the day, girl, like y'all ain't just like, I just don't put nobody above the next. Elisa, you might be around more celebrities versus like Mary. You know what I'm saying? Lisa, you might be around more celebrities than Whitney. But at the end of the day, I just don't think your life is that much different. And anything that Lisa has, I feel like all the other women could probably also have too. Girl, they could probably rent a boat with their husband. They could probably sit courtside, girl, at the basketball game. I'm sure they could probably find a ticket to sit front row at New York Fashion Week or Paris Fashion. You see what I'm saying? Like, girl, I feel like they could all do the same stuff. Anyways, that's a part of the Lulu that Lisa has. Lisa not filming at first. I hate stuff like this because the rumor was, girl, that Lisa was negotiating her contract. She wanted more money. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the rumor was, and that's why she actually missed the first episode, because she was in contract negotiations. I don't know. Like I said, girl, we never really know the full story. It's all, it's all scuttlebutt, but at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes they make stuff bigger than what it needs to be. Like, why are we really talking about Lisa missing, like, the first episode, the first trip? Like, girl, is it really that? And y'all probably know she was probably wanting more money. I don't know. Like, I could see she probably missed the first, the first half of the season. Then we could make this a part of the conversation. But does it really matter that she didn't make the first trip to go camping? I guess, girl, whatever. They talked about Lisa's lawsuits. Her and Bronwyn started to get into it. Girl, she was low-key eating Bronwyn up. Girl, you have criminal, I have civil. Girl. Ooh, Lisa said, bitch, you ate me up. You ate me up at Amy's house, whoever that white lady was. You ate me up at Amy's house when you took a sip of that champagne, bitch. It's not happening today. Lisa, Bronwyn says she doesn't have any criminal lawsuits. Lisa basically says that all her lawsuits have been dismissed. One is pending. They talk about the truce. The truth about not talking about the family. Girl, I cannot believe that I'm defending Lisa. Lisa, this is what I feel. Yes, Bronwyn and Lisa had a truce not to talk about husbands and kids. I also feel like that's some bullshit, because this is what, it starts to go down like the Love and Marriage Huntsville road. How like some of y'all don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, but it's a reality show on TV. One of the wives, Letitia, feels like marriages should be off limits. Bitch, not on the show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. No, they're not. I feel like when we start to go down the road of, the husbands are off limits, it's also kind of in a way, a roundabout way of saying not to discuss the marriages. Because sometimes, what if something is going on and we need to talk about it as a group and it actually involves your husband? Bitch, we gonna talk about it. So I feel like that's just a sneaky roundabout way to kind of not talk about the marriages sometimes. I was thinking about that this reunion. Anyways, so they had a truce not to talk about each other's husbands. I can see how Lisa could go back on the truce. Y'all hear my stomach? Once she, and I'm not even hungry, child. I really just ate for the first time today. I ate like 2 Lunchables earlier. Anyways, so I could see how Lisa could basically Lisa was talking shit about Todd. And she stood in it at this reunion. She called that man an old dirty man. At BravoCon, they showed a clip of Lisa talking to some fans. And basically, they were talking about when Lisa said that Braun is a gout dick sucker. Hey! That Braun was a gout dick sucker. Um, and she was basically laughing and joking with fans talking about Todd. And they were recording it, and somebody recorded. That's you cannot trust the fans, girl. They'll set your ass up. Somebody was recording it and sent it to Bronwyn. So Bronwyn then saw that Lisa basically went back on her word about talking about Todd. Now, in Lisa's defense, I can see how Lisa might want to go back on the truths that we made because, bitch, I just saw your husband wearing me out. Like, Todd does not like Lisa Barlow. Okay? Like, for what it appears as though Todd cannot stand Lisa Barlow. So I can see how Lisa could probably watch the show and then see the shit that Todd is saying and how he probably feels about her and says, bitch, fuck that truth. Girl, because, bitch, he gonna get it too. And I feel like that's really what happened with Lisa. She saw the show. And I think she said that. Like, basically, I saw the shit he was saying about me. Like, girl, you got me fucked up. Girl, fuck your husband. And she just got mad about what she saw. So they talk about Angie. Angie has an Arby's ad. Lisa basically feels like it's because of her all the girls are getting brand deals. Lisa said that if she was a credit card, that she would probably file identity. She would probably file a claim for identity theft. If I was a credit card, I would probably sue for identity theft. That's what she said. Because now Angie has an Arby's ad. If I said Bronwyn, I'm sorry. Angie has an Arby's ad, and then Angie basically says, "Girl, you sound stupid. Like you have a hair campaign with what is it called, Kerastase?" And Angie was saying, "I've been working with them for like 30 years," and they said that Angie does actually anytime she comes to an event, she always gives out that brand. And I didn't know until some of y'all told me in the, I don't really know about no hair and shit. I didn't know until I Googled it. Girl, that shit is expensive. Like the shampoo and conditioner be like $100. You can find it on sale sometimes, but like a bottle can run you $100. Girl! So if a bitch give you some Kerastase, girl, Kelly Rowland, whatever the fuck the shit called, girl, Miss Girl, you lucky. Okay? Baby, that's good. It's $100 bottle of some shampoo and conditioner. I think each. So then they talk about the 100 episodes. They've reached 100 episodes for the franchise. And I love this franchise. This is amazing. Julia Roberts, she loves the show. I do think, I think the thing with this season is that they had to follow up from last season. Last season was up there to me with Real Housewives season 6, Real Housewives of Atlanta season 6. So I think that this season was not bad, but I do feel like there were moments where they were trying to one-up each other for the camera. And as some of us were stating in the comment section, it almost felt like they were trying to do a parody of themselves. There were a couple of moments in a few episodes where it did become cringy. Like, okay, girl, now y'all trying too hard. Like, girl. Like, to me, the last episode, I thought was like kind of like a flop. Because it just felt like they were all trying to have like their Heather Gay moment of receipts, timelines, fucking everything, whatever she said. But I still feel like it's because of last season. Last season was so great that it is hard to follow up to something like that. So I don't think they were ever going to live up to it. But I still enjoyed the season. And I still think that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is one of the only franchises where in recent time, I laughed the most. The way that I laugh watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, like I really think they are funny as hell to me. Anyways, I never thought the day would come where I would be like, just like, cause my girls are always, no shade to the white girlies, but my girls are always Potomac, well, really Atlanta. And then I think I just like Potomac because it was a black cast, but my girls are always really Atlanta and Potomac. But girl, Salt Lake City, they are really, like, the white girls are really, really funny. And I don't even think that sometimes they know that what they're doing is funny, but it's funny as hell. Anyways, so Mary talks about how when she first started on the show, she felt like the group hated her. Hold on, what did I put? Mary stated out of. Oh, she felt the group hated her, and I put that it felt like to me Mary also didn't like the group. Like now, and Mary did say that Andy asked them who's changed the most, and Mary said me. And I will say not for the worst, but I think for the better. Like for those who have watched, I missed one season, but for those who have watched all the seasons of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Mary really, it's like a 180. Like you could tell like the wall has come down. Even though she was funny before, it was funny, almost borderline mean in a way, if that makes sense. Now it's like she's funny, but it's not like she's not walking around here calling the girls inbred. Shout out to Heather Gay. Girl, my contact. Ooh, I should have took my contacts out. But yeah, I will say that Mary has changed the most, but I think it's for the better. Heather also says that she's changed a lot too, girl. Okay, and physically, okay? Because when I tell you, when they were showing clips from the past, the way, baby, Heather does not even look the same. Heather looks like a completely different girl. Girl, Heather has a brand, like, this is the thing. When you get, like, say, veneers, your teeth will change your entire face, okay? Like, so that's one. You have to be careful when you get veneers because your entire face will change. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but your face will change. But I think Heather has had more than just veneers, but Heather's face from the first season, like now, is completely different. Hell, to me, her face at the reunion looked completely different than the face that I saw during the season. Girl, no shade. Anyways, Brittany comes out. Brittany is just happy to be there. I feel like Brittany gets on everybody's nerves, including Andy's. I don't know if it's gets on my nerves because, like, it almost feels like she may get on their nerves because she's just so. Brittany just seems like she's happy to be there. Like, hey, I'm here, guys. How are you? So it might be that type of, like, girl, no shade to the happy girls. Because I'm a happy person, I feel like, for the most part. But those girls who always come around, it's like, girl, bitch, girl, it's 7:00 in the morning, and they walk into the office, and they're like, good morning, guys, how are you? And you like, bitch, girl, if you don't shut the fuck up, okay? Like, Brittany's that type of girl, where, like, she doesn't mean any harm, but depending on the time of the day, she can get on your fucking nerves. Like, girl, please come back over here at least after 10:00. Because, girl, you doing too much. Okay? Anyways, she says, I'm happy to be here. And then Andy says, I know you are. Girl, she caught the shade. Anyways, did Heather fuck Captain Jason? Heather Gay is so full of shit. And I really think that Heather Gay should have her day on the show. Has Heather really had her day on the show? I can't remember. But I feel like next year they need to wear Heather Gay low. I'm going to go ahead and talk about Heather. Yeah, I know I think Heather is a one. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, let me stop. No, let's talk about Heather Gay and Captain Jason. Heather says that fuck around, she didn't mean that it was anything sexual. It basically meant that they were, like, hanging out. Even Andy was like, girl, hanging out and fucking around, those are two. Heather, this is the thing about Heather. Heather is very smart. I think Heather's a smart woman. When you have that type of intellect, I think that you start to think that you're smarter than everybody in the room. The fact that Heather is now trying to convince us that we are the problem and that we are the ones who created, girl, this problem, that when she said that she's fucked around with Captain Jason, that we took it the wrong way. Girl, I'm just going to say in the United States of America, that if you say that you fucked around with somebody, now it might not necessarily mean that he stuck his penis inside of your vagina, but it definitely means that, girl, y'all either kissed, you, girl, jacked him off, he ate you out, you sucked his dick, like something sexual happened, whether it was a kiss on up to penetration. You see what I'm saying? Or even if y'all just humped each other with your clothes on. Something that falls under the sexual category happened. Nobody is going to take, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Because some people might be different. You're right. Some people might be different. Y'all let me know. If you heard somebody say that we fucked around, what would you think? And now Heather is at the reunion trying to make it seem as though we the goddamn problem. No, Heather, you said what you said. And then on top of that, I think Heather was at Watch What Happens Live a couple of months ago, and they brought it up, and Heather basically like doubled down on it and was basically calling Captain Jason a liar. Because Captain Jason had come out and said, girl, I ain't never fucked that girl. I'm paraphrasing. I ain't never fucked that girl. And she went on Watch What Happens Live like, so we didn't. I mean, like we didn't. So he said that we didn't mess around or fool around or whatever she said. But she tried to make it seem as though they messed around. Girl, Heather, girl, get out my face. I said that bitch would be good. We were just talking about Heather the other night. She would be good on Traders. I think Heather would probably win Traders. Bronwyn's case. I remember a lot of people saying that whatever that case was about, it probably had to do something with work. I remember some of the cousins in the comment section saying that whatever that case was with Bronwyn, it definitely has something to do with the workplace. Did she mention that on the show? Because I don't remember her mentioning it on the show. Maybe she did and I don't remember. But I do remember people saying that it had to do with the workplace. Well, she says that it had to do with work, and that the case was dismissed, even on the person that it was brought against. It wasn't basically about her, but she was involved. And that she said it wasn't anything. Basically, she just became a citizen. And her whole thing is like, bitch, if I had did anything, girl, against the law, y'all think them girls would have, and I do kind of believe it. Like, girl, the way that Donald Trump and them people acted, girl, that Bronwyn would be in the Bahamas. Or wherever. What was she at? Not the Bahamas, Belgium. What was she at? What was she born? Russia. I don't know where she was at. Anyways, and then Andy brought up something from Reddit that said that in 2018 she had $100,000 of charges on a corporate credit card. To me, Bronwyn kind of skimmed over that. Let me tell you something. Bronwyn, bitch, it's something going on in your past. It ain't just because you wrote no fucking hot check in college when your ass got knocked up and you couldn't afford to pay your rent. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because bitch, if I was 18 or 19 with a baby, I would be writing hot checks too. Okay? So I'm not gonna hold Bronwyn to no shit she did when she was 18 and 19 and had a baby. Right? Because bitch, we're gonna have to figure it out. But 2018 wasn't that far ago. Too long ago. I feel like Bronwyn got caught up into some shit, and due to Todd's money, he has managed to make a lot of this shit go away. I don't know, but I just feel like Bronwyn ain't just always squeaky clean. I do feel that way. I do. Bronwyn does a good job at making sure she answers the question without answering the question. She makes sure she says just the right amount, just the right shit girl, you know, to make it seem like she answered the question. But if you listen, Bronwyn will be answering the question all the time. She knows exactly what the fuck she needs to say, which is a good thing, right? You know? Anyways, so Lisa whispers to Meredith, and she says it wasn't so bad. They weren't getting a reaction out of you until now. I felt like she was talking about Bronwyn. That's what I felt. And so Andy saw Lisa whispering to Meredith. So then he asked Meredith, basically, what the fuck y'all talking about? And she says it wasn't about Bronwyn. I said, girl, what? Now, I felt like what Lisa said was about Bronwyn. And I was like, well, she's talking about Lisa? But I'm like, why would Lisa be talking to Meredith at the time that Bronwyn is talking, but she's talking about somebody else? So I'm like, did Meredith just lie? Or either the producers are lying about what Lisa said to Meredith, because they put the words on the screen. Now, this is what I want to talk about. Did Lisa leak Bronwyn's information to the press? Bronwyn was late coming to the boat, right? When they went to the trip, Bronwyn was late. Bronwyn caught a completely different flight. Yeah, yeah, she did. Remember, because that's when Meredith acted a fool. Bronwyn caught a different flight, so she was late coming to the trip. Not by too long. I think she arrived still that same day. So Bronwyn is saying that before she arrived, it had been leaked to the press that she was arriving late due to the shit that had just hit the internet about the scam and shit, right? Now, I will say, due to Lisa's reaction on the boat when it came up, Lisa did give guilty. Lisa just straight up, like, Lisa's reaction gave very much, oh, bitch, you the one who leaking shit to the press. Is you. But for some reason, I was watching the show again. I watched it twice, right? And I'm looking at Heather. And now I believe that it was Heather Gay. I believe that it was Heather. Because this is the thing. Heather is the sneaky girl on the cast who will lie on a producer. She will cover up black eyes. I think Heather really wants this show to be successful. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But to what lengths are you willing to go to make this show successful? I was looking at Heather while they were having this conversation. I felt like anytime Lisa started to make some leadway with what she was probably saying, that's when Heather chimed in and basically was like, you did it. And then she switched the whole conversation to how does Lisa make her money? When I tell you, baby, Heather Gay, that's some nasty work. Baby, the way that Heather Gay set her ass on that stage and tried to make Lisa Barlow appear to be Jen Shaw like she was a scamming ass bitch. Baby, Lisa Barlow, listen to me. I know Lisa don't watch my videos. But for those of you who watch my videos who are fans of Lisa Barlow, y'all better go to Lisa Barlow's Instagram page, DM, and tell her if she don't swing Heather Gay every which way but loose next year, how dare you, girl, try and start asking me questions about what is Lux Marketing. I didn't know Lisa did anything about no Lux Marketing. All I've heard about is that tequila line and the lounge. And remember when she first started the show, it was about like, I don't know. But I didn't know anything about Lux Marketing. So Heather is like, what is Lux Marketing? How do you make your money? I can tell you everything about the med spa industry. Tell me about yours. And I'm like, girl, where is this coming from? And I was like, girl, Lisa, I think you the one. I'm not Lisa Heather. I think you the one who probably leaked this shit to the blogs, and you hurried up and changed the conversation. Because how are we now talking about how the fuck Lisa make her money? And you've been knowing this bitch since season 1, before season 1. And you trying to paint this lady as a scammer. And then Bronwyn chimed in and basically was having Heather's back while basically also low key Brown bitch. If I would have told Bronwyn, bitch, you shut up. You hot check writing, $100,000 corporate card swiping, bitch. Girl, if you don't shut up, bitch, girl, why don't you worry about nothing that's going on over here. Girl, the people say you was out here, girl, swiping a corporate credit card for $100,000. You've been writing checks. You've been a scammer since the age of 18. Don't say a goddamn thing to me. Hello? Girl, you getting cases closed and sealed, signed, sealed, delivered, girl, thrown in the ocean, girl. Bitch, if I was Lisa, bitch, I'd be girl. Girl, now this is the thing, Lisa. Lisa do sneaky shit. They all do sneaky shit. I think Lisa is one of those housewives where she knows the tea and she knows what's happening, but other people sometimes do it for her. Right? That's what I feel like. But I feel like in this scenario with the whole Bronwyn stuff and who leaked it to the press, I really feel like it was Heather Gay. Because Bronwyn was like, who else would have done it? Because the only people that basically she was into it with was Lisa and Brittany. Heather. Heather would do it. I would be willing to bet my last $2 that Heather Gay is who is leaking this information. While they all play a dirty game and they all probably have tea on each other, I feel like Heather is the sneakiest and the nastiest. And for me to be saying that, because y'all, for the girls who don't know, Heather Gay was my girl. I still, got a little, once you my girl, I have a soft spot for you forever. But I think Heather is a very sneaky, conniving bitch. I do. And I think that Heather is the person behind a lot of this shit. And she has managed to shift the blame easily. And I think that Lisa fucked up with her response to on that boat. And I think that gave Heather the green light. Even when she was chasing Lisa around telling her, just own it. You did it. How you gonna make this lady say something that she's saying that she didn't do? Because you did it. You're using that moment that Lisa slipped up on that boat as a sign of guilt, and that's all Heather needed to try to paint Lisa as the villain. That's all Heather needed. If Lisa would have never done that, then I don't know what Heather would have done, but I think that that's what Heather needed to kind of show that Lisa is a person behind all of the mess. And I think it was Heather, especially with the Bronwyn stuff. Girl, I hope this review made sense, girl. It's 3:00 in the morning, girl. And then, girl, we'll talk about the rest. Angie called out Lisa for trolling her online. She says that the number that was trolling her is a number that belongs to Lisa. And then it went off. And then Heather gonna say, why are you freaking out at me talking about Lisa? Because Lisa got pissed off. Heather, you just accused this lady of being a scammer. Pretty much. And now you're mad? Now you're mad because I'm freaking out at you, girl. You better be happy I don't get up out my seat and slap the shit out of you. Girl. Okay, freaking out. I'm about to take my heel off and girl, put it in your motherfucking skull. Girl, let me stop, girl. I'm not buying it like that, girl. I be talking a lot of shit, but girl, I ain't never got into a fight a day in my life. I just be over here talking shit. But Heather, I need for the girls to wear Heather Gay out next season. I feel like Heather has gotten away with too much. And I think that Heather is the root of a lot of the mess hitting the blogs. I do. And I think that this is Heather's show. It is. I don't care what nobody say. Heather is, what's the word I'm looking for? The anchor of the show. Heather is clearly the producer of the show. Heather is the one who makes sure the shit keeps going. I think she does a hell of a lot better job than Giselle, straight up. But Heather, I think, also is the one who causes a lot of chaos and confusion behind the scenes. And she does a good job of keeping her hands clean. And Heather's smart enough to kind of look at all the ladies to see who she can pin shit on. I think that's Heather Gay. I really do. Anyways, All right, I'm gone, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good morning. Okay, I'm about to try to get this up before I go to sleep. Because I'm about to take some melatonin because, like I said, I need to get up early and take care of some business. Yeah, so I'll get this video up as quickly as possible, and then I will see y'all here probably later, like probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night. All right, bye, y'all.